Hello, welcome to my podcast. This is the very first interactive podcast that I'm having since I got to the UK here. And it's going to be very interesting because today I have a very interesting guy with me here. If you've been watching my videos on TikTok, if you've been watching my videos on YouTube, you will hear me mentioning Dude Man, we're Dude Man, Dude Man, we're Dude Man. Today I have Dude Man here with me. Charlie, what's up?
Cool things, bro. Charlie, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while. How has it been, Charlie?
Charlie, all thanks to God. Things
Yeah,
are moving very well. Yeah.
yeah. You people, left Ghana before us, but Charlie, we all did.
We all did. Yeah, one
Aye.
one has to start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah. So Wadud was
yes,
actually my housemate. He was my course mate. He was my course rep back in the university. Can you believe that it's already been 7 years
yeah,
since we completed university?
yes. I can believe how time.
You know, go marry.
I'm married. I'm married now. I'm married now. I'm married.
Well, yeah, I know. But Charlie,
Uh-huh.
there's one question where I want to busy you. How many of your classmates are left in Ghana?
As I speak now, I
Mm,
know about
mm,
50 to 60 of my my classmates back at the
yeah.
university who have left the country and are practicing
Mm,
abroad. You understand? Yes, in UK, USA, Canada, among
yeah.
other countries, Ireland. Uh, I don't know. Some people also travel, but they
Yeah.
may keep it like a
A
secret.
secret. Yeah.
But I think a lot of students. I know about 60 roughly, and we were 167 or so in class back then.
Yeah.
And so about
At
60
least.
of us are abroad. I know a lot
That's
of I know a
massive.
lot of them who have passed the exams and are going through the
For the
process. I know some
process.
who are
Yeah.
applying for hospitals, and I can see that by the mid of 2024, God willing, I can say that about 100 of our classmates will be working abroad.
Charlie, that's just
uh,
massive. That's massive. But
it is.
I want us to start from the scratch. We were course mates, we were housemates. Now we are all here. Like, how is the feeling like knowing that you were with some people back then in the university, you were in the same house, and then all of you are here, practicing nursing, and then sometimes when you think about it, do you have it that does it come with any kind of feelings or any kind of excitement whenever you think about some of these things?
Oh yes. It's an incredible feeling to say the least. Yeah. So back at the university, we had aspirations, we had
Yeah, yeah,
ambitions. So for me, I had the vision of traveling abroad to school.
yeah.
I never intended to travel abroad and work.
Mm,
But we plan, God
yeah,
plans, and God is the best of planners. So we have our own plan, and God also has his plan. And the
yeah.
plan of God is what will prevail at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So for me, that was what I envisaged traveling to school abroad. And it has been a feeling I had even since SHS.
Yeah,
And so after SHS, I had to write SAT,
yeah, yeah.
that scholastic aptitude test, which
Mm,
I wrote and applied to some schools abroad, which I did. But I had some percentage of scholarship. I had to pay a certain
yeah.
percentage, which the amount was too much. So I had to go through my university in Ghana. And thankfully, I had the opportunity to come here and work through the IELTS exams. And it's very great
Yeah.
to see some of your colleagues who were here. You
Mm-hmm.
also joined them. And then some also came and joined you.
Joined
And
you.
it's like people keep coming. And it's a
Yeah,
good feeling. So it's like, especially UK,
yeah,
we are
yeah.
just like mini Ghana, if I can say that.
By the way,
uh,
if did you ever see yourself like doing nursing? Or was it something that you just wanted to do right from primary school, or there was it just nursing just happened by choice, and also started coming with its own opportunities for you, or was it just a chance, or was it a choice, or what happened? Was it nursing actually you wanted to do?
well, as I just said, that we plan and God plans too.
Yeah,
Honestly, growing up, this is what happened. When I was in basic school,
yeah,
through to uh, the GHS 1, I
hmm,
wanted to become a bank manager. So I had
yeah,
the intentions of pursuing business.
Business, yeah.
Now, when I go to JHS1, JHS2, through to JHS3, I realized that I had very strong passion for general arts, like social
Yeah.
studies and East-related programs. So I plan on pursuing general arts at the senior high school. But I was one of the students who then was doing very well in class, and then
Yeah.
my teachers advised that I do science, and my friend Caesar
Yeah.
also influenced my decision to do science.
See?
My dad is educated, but he doesn't decide for you.
Decide
He
for
allows you
you.
to take your decision,
Yeah.
and he'll support and give you the necessary advice that he thinks. So I was influenced to pursue science by Caesar and my teachers.
Yeah.
And then I didn't regret. I did science. I did very well. And then when I completed, I wanted to become a lawyer or a professional teacher.
Yeah.
So I decided to apply for law. I wrote NOVDEC before my WASI. I did well. And then my family members and friends said, "Oh no, you did science. Just apply for medicine. Go and do medicine. You did science. Just do medicine." So I again switched from my desire to become a lawyer or a professional teacher, and I applied for medicine at UDS, applied nursing as my second choice, and community nutrition as my third choice. And then, should I say, unfortunately, I didn't get medicine.
Yeah.
I didn't make the requirements, so I had nursing.
Oh.
And then I took it in good faith, and I did nursing. And through nursing, I had the opportunity to work in United Kingdom, which possibly is not something I dreamt of having the opportunity to. Yes, the cold is entering me, so I'm shivering while talking.
I know, I let you don't like the cold.
No, I don't like cold. I don't like cold.
Charlie,
so the cold is entering me. We are in a room, but Charlie,
coastal day.
It's not easy. Yeah, so I wanted to become a lawyer or a professional teacher, but I'm now a registered nurse.
Yes.
I'm proud to be a nurse.
Yes.
I can still pursue that ambition of becoming a lawyer. I can still pursue my ambition of becoming a professional teacher. In fact, I still have it at heart, and I think the long-term plan is to become a university tutor one day here.
Yeah. So I want us to go back in time. I remember very well when we were, back in the university, we were all, we were roommates and basically course mates. So once we were doing the same course, we literally moved from our hostel as a group, and then we'll get to, the university campus to go and have our lectures and all that. What was the most interesting moment that you ever had as we living together? Myself, you, Caesar, and Albert. What was the most interesting moment that you, anytime you remember, you just sit down and laugh that Charlie, boys do things, so things happen.
let me clear my truth first. Because there are a lot of experiences that we had in the past. Very memorable ones, of course. Yes, very good experiences. And I would love for us to have the opportunity to live together again and see if we could have a similar experience like we did. Yeah, so I think the one which is very clear in my mind happened, or which is very clear in my mind has to do with when myself, you, and Caesar did a song for our university lecturer. So I think Enos is quite very good with this computer things, music stuff. So he left his computer and he had this, there's this song, that it was it Joby or
Tonga.
Joby sang Tonga with Sarkod. Yes, that song Tonga. So Enos had that beat, that instrumental, or what do you call it?
Yeah, instrumental.
The instrumental. So he left his laptop, went out, and before he came, I opened the instrumental because I've been seeing him doing things, and I recorded a verse, my own verse of the Tonga song using our university lecturer. I don't want to mention his name. but anyone who attended UDS knows about that song.
Yeah.
It was very popular. I think I have to receive some royalties for that. We have to.
I don't even know where the data is now.
So Enos and Caesar came to the room. They came and saw my verse on it, and then Enos and Caesar also added their raps. So it was like a full song. And then it got leaked and they started playing it on campus and was like everywhere on campus. And they're like, hey, who is Wadu? Who is Enos? Who is Caesar? Because I actually didn't mention my name in the song.
Yeah.
I think Enos did also mention my
I
name.
didn't
Caesar
mention
mentioned his name. I am Julius Caesar. So the lecturer was happy at some point. He was sad at some point. In any case, we didn't insult him.
Yeah.
It was just a good like song for him that it was giving us a lot of pressure to learn.
Yeah.
Yes, and then if you don't learn, you will not pass this exam. So, and that was just the ideal thing we did, or that was the motivation for what we did. Yeah. So, but I think there are a lot of other experiences. Yes, when Enos will bring a lady and narrow us, we call this in narrowing. You bring a lady and then your roommates have to leave the room for you. So on several occasions, Enos will always bring a lady and narrow us. Do you want me to tell more?
Oh no!
Do you want me to say more?
Let's move to other things. but then I just want us to I was able to quickly move to our journey right from the time we made a decision that we were going to travel. I remember very well myself, you, Caesar, and a couple of other people, Nuruddin, Dr. Norbert and co. It started off as a class. Shout outs to you, Kilos. Kilos was basically the guy who, introduced us to this IELTS thing, and then it all started. For me, when it started, we were okay with it. Kilo started teaching us, and then we were serious at the beginning. But when Kilos left for the UK, I remember myself, I stopped learning. Caesar stopped learning, and then the others too. Everything basically went down. But you were just the only person who was on this IELTS thing. You never relented, and you kept on studying and studying and studying. I want to know, was it that because Kilos was staying with you, and you had the opportunity to have a one, or almost every day you were having a one-on-one with him, and then he left? Was it something he said to you that motivated you, that you never relented and you just kept on learning this IELTS thing to the point that now you are even called the IELTS King Kong?
Yeah, so let me greet Kilos. Yeah.
Shout out to you, Kilos.
Roadmaster. Don't maze. Yeah, so Kilos actually is a friend, very close friend at the university, and he was a 1-year junior at the university. And then when I just finished my national service, I do remember Kilos called me and told me about this IELTS thing, and that he wants me to learn, and he knows I'm very good, I can pass. And so when he's also done with his national service, then I can help him. Yeah. And so when he told me that, I was like, hey, Kilos, I've not seen or heard anyone who has traveled abroad with IELTS. I don't know even what the IELTS is about. And at that time, I just got admission to pursue my master's at UDS. Yeah. And so I told Kilos that, well, I want to pursue my master's so that when I'm done, I can move to the teaching field and so many things. He said, okay. He said that's good, but he will try to find out more about the IELTS and stuff. So in the end, he made his investigations. He got to learn the IELTS very well. He passed the exams even before he finished his national service. So just when he was permanently employed by the government of Ghana, within a space of 2-3 months, he left the country. Yeah. And before he left the country, he was staying with me in Tamale because he didn't want to rent when he knew he was leaving the country. And so when he was staying with me, then we had a discussion again about the IELTS. So I tried to think through what he was telling me. And at that time, I was basically done with the masters. I was done with the coursework, the field practicum. I was just working on my project work, the thesis. So I felt I could even travel abroad. So when he told me that, I bought into that idea. And then I am someone who doesn't like to win alone. Yeah. I have friends. And so whenever I want to do something that I think is beneficial, I want to carry my friends along. Because if at a point I stumble, then the friends may possibly be able to pull me through. Yeah. And so I call Enos, I call Caesar, call Nuruddin, call Dr. Norbert, and a host of other friends. I called all of them, and we all met at where I was staying in Tamale
Yeah.
for Kilos to
Take
kind of
us through.
take us
Yeah.
through
I
the
remember, I
basis of
remember
IELTS.
that day, the
Yes,
scores, the terrible scores
yes,
we were
we
getting when we
get it.
started with the listening.
And can you imagine? I had a teacher in my own room. I organized my friends to come for us to learn together because I didn't want to learn alone. And then when all of us came, the tutor decided to give us a test.
Just
And myself and another colleague
Whole
scored
bed.
Obed. We scored we had a least score. So Kilos was mad that what dude? Why? How? It's like why? Kilos didn't understand why
Why
myself and Obed had
had
the
lowest
the
score?
lowest score, yes. So I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Yeah.
And Obed was also my classmate when we were doing the masters. So
Yeah.
I think maybe we're still thinking about our masters exams
Yeah,
we're going to write or something. But the point is that we had the lowest score that day, and it was very, very funny. Our colleagues, our friends were laughing at us, and it was just
yeah.
a painful pleasure. You know, we're
Yeah,
sad,
yeah.
but we're very happy because that was our first time
First time, yeah.
doing the IELTS. And I remember very well it was IELTS listening.
Listening, yeah.
And by the time I heard we're done with the test, yeah. So
The audio plays
the
and
audio
you are looking for the answer. They've passed.
they've passed where you
You are
are.
on question 1 and then they are at 15, question
Exactly,
15.
exactly. So actually that's what happened. So after that session, I
Yeah.
think we went to the room and Kilos was like, what happened? I said, Don Baze. I usually call him Don Baze. I said, Don Baze, this is the first day. And so
Yeah, at least.
and he was like, but all of you are doing it for the first time. So he encouraged me that I should stay focused, I should be concentrated and stuff. And Kilos is someone who has some affinity for me. He has this strong love for me. I don't know what I've done for him, but he loves me so much, and I see it in his actions.
Yeah.
So I also love him so much. You understand? And so what he told me
It
actually
means as
gingered me.
friends, so not.
Yes,
not
you know,
what
as
you are
friends,
thinking.
no. Yeah, so it gingered me, and I wanted to prove a point to him that I can do
you
it.
can really do
So I think during that time he has to go to Accra for his visa here and there issues, and so we couldn't meet a lot.
Yeah.
And I think people, although all of us didn't do well, I think it was Norbert who did very well.
Yeah.
Yes, Norbert is a shark, don't mind him. So he did very well doing IELTS for the first time, listening for the first time. He was scoring like 34.
30, yeah.
And I was like, this guy is crazy. But yes, we know him, he's crazy. So I actually tried to prove a point. I wanted to really do it
Do more, yeah.
because I assured Kilos I would do it. So that was the motivation. And I was actually learning it day in, day out. I was working in Toulon. So I'll go to Toulon
Yeah.
and I'll come back. And then I was working on my thesis. And then at the same time, learning the IELTS. And when I write for Kilos to read, he tells me to stop writing because my writing is very good. And so I should concentrate on the other models, which are the reading and the listening. So I was actually practicing. Then once in a while, I'll try to contact my friends, say, no, Caesar and Co.
Yeah.
How are you doing? And then to like, Charlie, I'm not learning. No, I'm not learning.
These guys are not serious.
Yes, Caesar is telling me this. Enos is telling me that. Caesar is telling me he's going to do masters. Enos at the point he's going to do masters, he's going to do medicine. He had admission and stuff.
Yeah.
So I persevered. I persevered, and at the point, Kilos left the country. So once in a while, he'll give me a video call showing me the streets of Leeds. That Charlie see and stuff. Yes, Kilos will he'll just push you to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got gingered, and I was working very hard until when I was successful in the exams. So, and then when I was successful, I made sure that all the people, I tried to find out what's happening. If your plans are not going very well, Charlie, leave the IELTS dream. Let's do it. Let's do it. And so at the point, people were buying to the ideas. At the point, people were not buying to the idea. But I think there are other things that motivated other people, like Caesar and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they came on because they know that I was there. I was willing to hear they are ready to start learning the IELTS. Then we take it from there. And I think I'll find out what motivated him to now want to start or to.
For me, it was quite simple, you know. When we met in the house, then we had, we did the trials with Kilos. When we left back, I was like, I wasn't, I had not made up my mind yet one, I wanted to do my master's because I remember very well we applied for this scholarship. I didn't get the scholarship all right, but I got the admission. Then later on, they opened up another this thing for us to buy a forms, and then for that was a postgraduate medicine, which I went and did. I wrote the exams, I passed, I had the admission. But when the fees came, I think it was 12,000 Ghana
Serious.
cedis. I was now thinking of how to get
Say 120 million.
120 million.
All currency.
And I was to pay that money for 6 years, my guy. And aside that, the learning and things I had to do. So I think I was now torn between, going in for the masters, which was, I think that time was around 7,000 per year because I didn't get the scholarship. And then in between that one and then the medicine. And then I was also doing my photography, all right. And anytime I post a video or I post a photo of, nice girls that I take in my studio, there was this friend of ours who is here. He even came here. It's like 3 years now, Marfo. So one day I posted a very nice lady, and mostly when I post nice lady, he comes and then he comments, "Hey Charlie, you they do things, so I'll be that kind of thing." So when I saw, mostly he just either send a short note or he would just chat me. But this time around, I saw a voice note of about 6 to 7 minutes, and I was like, "What alone is this guy going to talk about?" And then he's recorded that long audio. So now, when I was free, I actually sat down. That time I was in my studio, so I sat down and then listened to it. And this guy, he started off with insult. It was like, "Foolish boy, so go stop what go show on that fooling and ride it out." Then he started with insult, but then he was just gradually explaining every process and was telling me the benefits and all of that. And then he sent a couple of pictures to back up what he was saying, which was some buildings and stuff. So I was just sitting in the studio there and I was like, "Charlie, that 120 million that I want to go and pay for the admission for the medicine, I can pick that 20 million out of that time. The out was 1,760. I can pick that 2,000 out of it and go and ride this islet. And if all things goes through, that money that I will be wasting for 6 years, I could even make that money here within, let's say, 3 months or 4 months in my stay. Let's say, if I'm even giving myself 6 months, I can make more than that money." So at that point, I was like, "Charlie, I've just changed my mind." So I went back, those materials that Kilos gave us, I went back, they were just right in my studio, took them, sat down, and then I started reading. I started doing the listening. That night, I did some listening. I was able to cross at least the first time 30, and I was like, "No." The next day, I gave you a call, and I said I was coming to you for you to take me through the writing. And since then, I never looked back. In fact, there were some people that were, as you said, when you are moving, you try to move with some friends. I started it off, spoke to one of them that was part of us, Caesar. This one, I'll mention his name, Caesar. But Caesar was trying to, he's not ready and that kind of stuff. But I also persevered and then
his face like that.
I continued. And then, I don't know, within that week where he went and slept, whether I don't know why he went and ate or where he slept, but then all of a sudden this guy too had a change of mind. And in fact, that was the best time because you were already through with it. So it was not long. It was now left with myself and then him, and we were flatmates or we were roommates. So we started learning together, and then that was it. The story just changed. So for this IELTS thing, basically, I think that it all has to do with your mindset. Once you make up your mind that, you would write, you are going to write. And I don't know, there are still some people who call me and think IELTS is a scam. They can't bring. I don't know whether you've been getting, calls like that. They come and say, "How can IELTS bring you to the UK?" Like, I don't know whether you also still get calls like that from people who still doubt, like 100% skeptical about this whole IELTS thing.
Yes, I do. I do get a lot of messages, a lot of audio recordings on WhatsApp, a lot of calls from people trying to make inquiries regarding IELTS. And some of them, they ask you questions and you want to ask, why this question? Yes, and I think currently in Ghana, for example, to be very, very difficult to have a nurse who has completed the tertiary institution and doesn't know another person who has gone through the IELTS process and is in a certain country. It's very difficult. Some people know, but they are not ready to learn. They want you to keep answering the same questions over and over and over again. I have people who ask me, for example, how much does the IELTS cost? I'll tell them the amount as at the day they are asking me. Then they'll ask other questions, other questions. Within the next 2 days, you see the same person coming to you and asking you the same question. How much does the IELTS cost? So when it happens that way, I try as much as well not to answer them, because if I answer them again, they'll ask. So I'll tag the answer I give to the person and I tell you that, oh, I answered this question, so please read it again. Then the person will say, oh, okay, sorry. And I say, oh, no problem, don't worry, you understand. So I believe that some people also have this spirit of procrastination.
Yeah.
You understand? The spirit of procrastination is affecting a lot of people. In recent times, it's very difficult to get jobs. It's not like it's not possible. People get jobs. As I speak to you, I don't know anyone. I teach IELTS.
Yeah.
I teach IELTS online. I teach. We have an IELTS class in Tamale. I teach it with my colleagues, Caesar. I teach it with Nandu and co. You understand? You were also teaching IELTS in Tamale before you came.
But for me, and I now teach OSCE.
You now teach OSCE, yes. So he teaches OSCE. If you are in the United Kingdom and you want to prepare for your OSCE, especially the mental health OSCE, you understand? We don't have a lot of people who teach that. So if you want, just see him, and then he'll teach you. Yeah, he's a very good teacher. So I think that people just want to procrastinate just for that purpose. And so I try to talk to them. I try to let them understand that, yes, for me, I don't know any student of mine who has written the exams, gone through the process, and didn't get any job. And the exams expired because IELTS expires after 2 years. I don't have any of that. The one who has stayed for long is one of my students who had 3 months left for the exams to expire before she got a job. And she got a job, you understand? And she's in the country. So I still believe that people get jobs. It takes time.
It just takes time.
It takes time. So if you are there and you want to write the IELTS and you are procrastinating, it's at your peril. So you have to take the decision to start now. And IELTS is not a long-term, journey. IELTS 2 months, maximum 3 months, you are done with the exams and you are gone. You understand? So just be committed and that's it. So back to your question, people do ask me those questions. And sometimes I feel like they are just asking. They just want you to talk again because they know. Because most of them, after you answer them, then the next question that comes, they will, my friend said he went to UK and he wrote the IELTS exams, but he didn't tell me how to go about the IELTS exams. And then so the person knows that you can go to UK with IELTS exam, but the person will not tell you that background. He will put it to it. He will put it to you that, is there an exam like IELTS that can take you and so on. So sometimes, because of the work I do, which is IELTS, I try to be very, very tolerant. Of course, I'm a tolerant person.
Sure.
Whenever you contact me, I try as much as possible to understand you, to answer your questions, and to explain things to you very well. You understand? So if you are here watching me, IELTS is a good opportunity. It's a life-changing opportunity. So if you really want to, you have to start today. Sure. You have to start the very day you are listening to me. If you want to write IELTS and live your dream abroad, you have to start the very day you are listening to me. You understand? Because if you are a nurse, for example, if you are a nurse, if you are a midwife, if you are a nurse and you are a midwife, possibly your annual salary maybe is what you get in a month or two here in England. So, for example, because I'm in England with my colleague. So, if you really want to, then you should take the decision and do. But if you also want to stay home and help, that's very good. So be certain about what you want, be certain about your priorities and stick to them. So don't be like you want to do the IELTS, you don't want to do the IELTS, you don't want. That way, you see that you are not very focused in life, and in the end, you regret not going or you regret not staying in Ghana. So you are just stuck in between. Make your inquiries, discuss, look at the pros and the cons, and take the decision and stick to that and pray.
There's this question that I wanted to ask again. Do you think the monetary aspect of this IELTS thing kind of discourage people? Because me, for instance, I'll be very honest. The monetary aspect. We'll cut it here and then